All right, emergency recaps. We got a couple of these that we're going to put on the channel tonight, including Michigan State with their first decisive win of the season. So, of course, Carter needs to celebrate that. Michigan with their first debacle of the season. So, again, Carter needs to celebrate that. And then I am going to try and see if I can get like 5 minutes of him to do a quick whip around because there's a lot of other chaotic results going on tonight, including Illinois struggling, Arkansas struggling, Maryland getting mollywopped. Anyways, the whole reason you're here on this channel right in this very moment is to see me react to Michigan. So here you go. Michigan loses 94-86 to Long Beach State. This game was 50-48 at halftime. At halftime, it was like, haha, that's cute. They really don't play defense. And then it just kept going. Like the second half just kept going play by play. And it's like, oh no, this is actually happening. It was like watching a very slow and painful death. I mean, we gave up 35 points to Marcus Tishonis. I don't even know if I'm saying that right or wrong because it was like the student announcers, and God bless them, they couldn't even say Namari Burnett's name right. So if it happened on Big Ten Plus, did it really happen? That's about all I got right now. I'm wearing an Iowa hat because they're officially the Michigan Hawkeyes. I feel like an Iowa basketball fan. And I don't mean that as a compliment. I mean that as a giant diss. This team is going to lose a bunch of games like this if they don't figure out the defense. So congratulations, Carter. I know this is definitely the biggest moment of your college basketball season so far.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Unfortunately, because of the timing of the Michigan State game and other games that were going on, I actually had Kansas State and Providence on the other screen. I really didn't get to watch much of the Michigan game. So unfortunately, I am going to have to ask people to come back Monday where I will have full thoughts once I watch the game because I actually do want to watch the game.
Then why are we here?
Oh, because I got enough, Gregory. I got enough points. I got
Well,
something.
this is just so. I can't believe you actually made me come on here to record just so you can say, "Yeah, we'll come back Monday and talk about it." Like that's just stupid.
No.
This
I
is
want
a
to get
giant waste of time.
No, we're getting your reaction to this because it's your team, and I feel like you're honestly mainly okay because you're the one who said you had no expectations for this team, and something like this was going to happen. So, is it really that bad that you lost to Long Beach at home?
I mean, objectively, yeah, but no, I'm not outraged. I'm not furious. People will probably like be in the comments like, haha, yeah, you are. Look how mad you were. But like, no, I'm like, this team is clearly not what I've been gassing them up to be in the last week. I think that's clear. But at the same time, they still kind of are. Like, I, they're a lot more fun than I thought they'd be this season. And that's all I wanted. Like all I said all offseason was like, I just want them to be fun again. And I think they're still fun. Like this was an objectively really fun back and forth basketball game. So at minimum, I said, if they're going to stink, like I just want Doug to be awesome and them to be fun while they stink. And tonight was a fun while they stink loss. It was an Iowa basketball loss, except Marquise Noel 2.0 was playing point guard, and it was fun as shit. There are some really serious problems here, which I'm happy to talk about, but it's harder to talk about when you're just like, yeah, I haven't watched. We'll talk about it Monday. So, like, are we? Is this just we're just here for the outrage?
People didn't come to hear about my thoughts about Michigan. They really didn't.
Okay,
they didn't, and they came to hear yours. But this is the thing for me, and this is just me box score watching. You got good games from three guys, and I feel like that's typically a recipe for success. You got production out of Doug, you got production out of Olivier, and in this game, you finally got Trey Jackson, who was kind of that third guy that has stepped up next to those two guys. So, you know, I just don't understand what it is about the defense that they keep breaking down because on paper, this team should be good defenders. Doug McDaniel, good defender. Olivier Nkamhoua, good defender. Namari Burnett, good defender. Like if you go down the line of the starting lineups, it's a bunch of good defenders. So is it an effort thing? Is it they're just having defensive breakdowns thing? What do you think is pinpointing on what's going on with Michigan's defense?
So it's a couple things. First of all, Namari Burnett is the main guy of the defense to me. Like he's the most important piece. He's the guy that makes them go. I think he's their best individual defender. He was in auto bench mode. Like he picked up 2 quick ones in the first half and got auto benched. When he exited the game, he was plus 13 and like I don't remember how many minutes he played in the first half. It was like half of the first half. Michigan was up big. I had a tweet saved in the drafts about how they were covering by the second media timeout again. Like Michigan got off to an electric good start, and Namari Burnett was on the floor, and they were getting stops. Then he got auto benched, and you can go look at the box score. They only brought 3 guys off the bench this game. One of them's Trey Jackson, who had a good offensive game, first time in a Michigan uniform he's done that. I'm officially on. Is it good for the team if Trey Jackson's playing and playing well? I don't know. He's an objectively awful defender who's clueless and can't put the ball on the floor whatsoever. So if he's your third best player, probably a bad thing. Will Shetter, not a defender. George Washington, God bless him, he's trying. He had a 4 trillion tonight, I think, not a defender. So at all times, if you're playing anybody from the bench, your defense is taking a significant step backwards. And again, they were up big when Namari left the game. 2-point game at half. He didn't check back in until the second half. Beyond that, Terrace Reed still, like, a lot of the mental stuff is there. Reed and Kamwa, I don't want to use the S word. Like, I don't think they're soft, but like they just like take plays off. Like Terrace Reed's just like out of position, and Kamwa just takes plays off defensively. It's really, really weird. I know people like talked about his consistency as a thing, but it was more talked about with his offense. Like on a play-to-play basis, I'm seeing a lot of inconsistency defensively from him because he is a guy who can get you a highlight block, like sky for a rebound, just absolutely have his man at hell. And then 2 seconds later, he's giving up an uncontested layup and backing out of the way. So I don't know what they're doing. They need to be coached up. I'll say that. It's the first time I think truthfully anyone objective could point to what's going on defensively with Michigan right now and say they miss Juwan Howard. And I know there's going to be jokes about like, oh, well, Juwan let Jet play through shit. But like, for the most part, Juwan has been a solid defensive coach in his career. Like his teams have been all right defensively. And right now,
and I'll say too for Juwan, I think he gets a little bit too much shit for not making adjustments in games. Yeah. I think he's actually pretty, like, people act like he doesn't do it at all. I'm not saying he's the best of all time or like the best in the Big Ten or best in the country or anything like that. But I have watched many of Michigan games where things have happening and he has made, at least tried to make adjustments. And it seems like in this one, that didn't happen.
Yeah, no, it didn't. Martelli, I like Martelli just clearly has his game plan right now with this team, which you can't say it hasn't worked because this team, I think, still is way further ahead of where they were supposed to be. But like the plan is just roll the ball out, getting an up and down game and out offense you. Like it's literally the Iowa formula. And more often than not, I think Michigan can do that based on the players they have. But tonight, I mean, people were waiting, like what happens on a night they don't shoot the ball well? Outside of Doug tonight, nobody could really make a shot. Even Trey Jackson, who we said was good offensively, was 1 for 4 from 3. So you take Doug's shots out of the game, his team was 4 for 20 from 3-point range tonight. And I think part of that too was Long Beach State threw a junk zone out. Early in the game, Michigan had a bunch of success on them. They threw out like this 1-3-1 matchup type thing that honestly, essentially all it did was make Doug a passer. And because you're going to love this, because Doug is here, whatever little thing you like to do with your hands to say that he's small, when you throw like an extended pressure zone out, Doug has to just be a passer. Like he can't shoot over it. He can't drive through it. So that's what happened tonight. Like I give credit to Long Beach State. They made other guys beat them, and the other guys didn't make shots tonight. Terrence Williams finally missed. Terrence Williams looked really tentative tonight. I thought he could have shot, honestly, like 13 threes. Based on the way Long Beach State was playing defense, they were open shots. Open shots he hasn't hesitated on in the first couple games. Tonight he hesitated more. Still got more production than he would on a bad night last year, but it was bad. And then the most concerning thing is not anything we've talked about. Like, obviously, the defense is bad, and it's going to stay bad, and it's going to limit their ceiling. Like, this team's going to be like a bubble, if not bubble, safe tournament team, but like Iowa. Like, they're going to lose a bunch of games because they give up 90 points. It's true. The way more concerning thing to me is the way Olivier Kamwa ended this game. And I know you didn't watch, but maybe you've read the play-by-play. Michigan had a 4-point lead with 4 minutes left. Mm-hmm. And this is where it's like, okay, no matter what else you got, Doug and Kamwa should ice a game for you. And Olivier Kamwa proceeded to have back-to-back turnovers. He missed an and one. He had an and one. He missed the free throw. And then like the very final sequence of the game, again, like he blows a box out. They foul intentionally. They're up 2 points, or they're down 2 points. Michigan is with 20-something seconds. It's a 1-and-1 to the line. Dude misses the free throw. Okay, Michigan should have an opportunity. And Olivier Kamwa, Jet Howard style, blows a box out. So it was like PTSD. I swear I'm gonna have like a brain aneurysm right now. And I don't get it. I don't get what it is. I don't know how you're Olivier Kamwa and you blow a one-on-one box out opportunity with a game on the line against the Long Beach State guy. Like, this is the first moment of concern for me with him. And again, you look at his number. He had 22, 11, and 4 tonight. Right. Like, Olivier Kamwa was great production.
Yeah, but that box out clip was bad. I mean,
you horrible. It was horrible.
It was bad. I mean, you made the joke about it looked like another 13 missing the box out. Yeah, but when last year it was a freshman, Jet Howard, who missed the box out, who missed a box out, which I'm not making an excuse for Jet Howard, but Olivier Kamwa is way too old, has played way too much basketball, is way too ready and way too good to have something like that happen. I mean, that's just that's inexcusable stuff.
Yeah, lost him the game. I mean, I think Olivier Kamwa's play in the final 4 minutes to me lost them the game. So it's hard to square that. Like, I was going to tweet something out about it, and then I'm like, you know what? He had 22, 11, and 4. Like, I don't feel right killing a kid that had 22, 11, and 4 when his teammates missed a bunch of shots. But like, he had 3 major mistakes in the final 4 minutes that if you're going to ice a game that you lead by 4 against Long Beach State, you need your star to step up and make a good play. And he had 3 opportunities. He messed them all up. There you go. There's the game. Doug was too quiet down the stretch too. I know I'm just rambling at this point, but might as well. I feel like that's what I need to do right now. Doug had 14 points at half, I believe. And then he hit a jumper with like 14 minutes left in this game. And then he wasn't heard from again until a minute left in the game. That can't happen on a night that Michigan is struggling. If you're in a dogfight with a bad team and you're Doug McDaniel, you need to take that shit over. Even if it's not working. Like, I get it. They threw a junk zone at you. I don't care. Like, this is a learning curve moment for Doug. And I think he'll go back and watch the film. And if anything is taken from this game, it's going to be a realization from Doug of like, oh, this is on me for not being more aggressive. Because I thought he had opportunities to take shots. He was hitting some crazy ones in the first half. I contributed to this loss because I was blowing you up, telling you how many step back threes Doug made in the first half. So, like, again, he was really impressive on an individual offensive level, but then it disappeared for the entire second half as Long Beach State pulled away. So I don't know what you do from it. It's weird to like point to Doug and Olivier after how good they were combined and say you need more, but that's kind of how I feel, you know?
But unfortunately, isn't that the nature of kind of college basketball sometimes? And when you are one of the better players and a closer on the team, it's great that you do things to even get them to that point. And yes, they should get credit for that. But like, when it's winning time and plays need to be made and you need to do the right thing, you can live with things like missing shots. Like, okay, you go to this game and you're losing because Olivier Kamwa and Doug McDaniel are missing shots. You're sick about the loss, but you're like, okay, our guys went out there and they tried to go for it. You can't live with missed box outs and not even getting attempts up and not being aggressive. But this also points to the last time we got on here after the St. John's game, and I pointed out that teams might try to do something gimmicky or do something to cut the head off of the snake in Doug McDaniel, and this is what it looks like. So, like you said, Doug can learn from it, but it's also, I think it just kind of uncovers what Michigan's shortcomings might be, which we knew what they were coming to the season, but it uncovers what it is based on the personnel that they have right now. But I will give you this spin zone right here, because I still remember when Michigan State lost to James Madison, and even though you let me have it and you let me know it was a bad loss, you did give me a little bit of a spin zone, like this is okay moment. If Michigan are the dogs that I think they are, and granted, who knows what they are ability-wise. Obviously, Doug's been great. I consider this team to be a team with some guys, I guess the term would be. Maybe after this game, they take a long, hard look in the mirror and realize that them running up and down and scoring 80 to 90 points a game is not going to be good enough. Like, this should be somewhat of a look in the mirror gut check time, because you're feeling really good about yourself. Everyone around the country is like saying, Michigan deserves more respect. Michigan's good. Michigan should be in the top 25. And then you had this gut check moment, letting a Long Beach State team come into your house and put up 90 points and having some guy score 35 points on you. That's something that's going to stick with them and hurt for a little bit. So obviously They don't have time to lick their wounds. Next week, they have the battle for Atlantis. They're going to play some really good teams. Now we'll really find out about Michigan too. I think having if they bounce back at this tournament at Battle for Atlantis, I think you really find out something about this team. And honestly, if I had to guess, like I think Doug bounces back. If anything, I'm scared if Olivier is going to bounce back because that was the narrative on him at Tennessee. Is that I mean he didn't disappear in this game like you said, but he disappeared during winning time.
Yeah, I think they'll both bounce back. I mean, the thing with Com was I don't think he was like making mental mistakes necessarily. Like he just made bad plays. Like he was trying to make the plays. He just made bad plays. So it's a different issue with Doug to me, who I'm like, where was Doug in the final 10 minutes of this game? And again, it's not like Doug disappeared on his own doing. It was the junk zone that made Doug disappear. So honestly, like combine everything, the more we talk it through, like I give Long Beach State credit. They had a great game plan. It worked. Michigan's complimentary guys didn't step up. At the end of the day, more often than not, this Michigan team is going to go as far as Olivier and Doug take them. And tonight, Olivier and Doug played well, just not well enough in the biggest moments. And you're not like I don't think I can come on here and say I need more from Terrence Williams to win a game. Like I feel like we've been through this, right? And I give Terrence all the credit for improving. But it's never going to be a moment where you hear me come on here and say, like, Terrence Williams needs to make more shots. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't think you should do anything about your team making more shots. I really think it has nothing to do with that. You let Long Beach State shoot 56% from the field and 47% from three and put up 94 points.
Yeah, it was wide open.
You're just not going to win a game. Like that's just straight up. Like I know that you wanted me to actually see what happens with this game, and I actually do want to really actually watch it and watch it unfold. But at the same time, you can pull out your box score watching here. You're not going to win a game where a team shoots 56% from the field and 47% from three and 94 points. That's just not going to happen.
They were wide open too, very, very wide open. Wide open threes, wide open pull-up jumpers. Michigan just flying by on closeouts, some uncontested layups mixed in there. Like the defense is that bad, dude. It's the only comparison I have is Iowa. Like I am a Hawkeye. I'm a Michigan Hawkeyes fan. That's all I have right now. And I wanted this for years. I came on here and begged to be Iowa for years. I think it's the funnest thing ever. And again, to be fair, tonight was a fun game. It was
okay, but also last thing I'll say on this is it's different to me because I thought Iowa didn't check because they straight up couldn't. They didn't have guys that could check. You guys have guys that can check. They're just not checking.
I think I think we gave Terrace Reed way too much credit too early.
As defensively
and everything. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
And it's not physical. I don't think it's physical, but there's other stuff. There's other stuff going on with Terrace.
Do you think it has anything to do with just his mentality? Like last year we saw a Terrace that was spot minute for Hunter Dickinson, like kind of, do you think it's anything like him being comfortable or like him being like him being in a different role has him acting differently?
No, I just think he's clueless. And I don't think I think he's clueless and not the most physical guy, even though he has a good frame.
That's crazy to say with his frame.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this comes back to like the coaches got to figure it out and instill some toughness in these guys. But like the only guys I can look at and say great defenders are Kamwa and Namari Burnett. And to me, Namari Burnett is a great defender. He was off the floor for a lot of the big runs tonight. Kamwa is a good defender who has mental lapses. That's my read on Kamwa. He's a very good defender at his high points, but he has a lot of mental lapses. Terrace Reed, I don't think we can call him a good defender right now. He's just out of position way too much, and he's not overly physical. Terrence Williams is not a good defender. Give him credit for all he's done. He's not a good defender.
Not calling Doug a good defender?
Come on. What do you want me to say? I love him. I love the kid. I love him. What's he supposed to do? He's 5'6". Like, so, and again, these are the only five guys, Cart. Like, I said it last time. I think part of the defensive issue is the depth. These guys play 40 minutes of up-tempo basketball. They're not going to defend if that's how you want to play. So, Long Beach State's 7th fastest tempo in the country coming into this game. It's probably higher after this game. And if that's how both teams know they're going to play, we're just going to come in and run and gun. It feels like you're watching Gonzaga against Baylor. Guess what? There's possessions guys take off defensively. That happens with great teams too. Like There are great teams that don't play defense every possession. Michigan's just not a great team, and they're doing that right now. So they obviously can't afford that. They need to figure it out. But I don't think it's really going to change. I think this team and this staff have said how we're going to win basketball games. Our best chance is to play run and gun with 5 guys playing 30 minutes or more. And
well, here's a good thing for you. By the looks of the rest of the conference, run and gun might work because this conference stinks.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a wake-up call, but like I said, I'm not devastated. I'm like a 6 because it was still a fun loss, and all I wanted this season was fun. They'll bounce back. I like my guy Doug. Doug hit the clutch 3, by the way. Ball kicked out to him, 5-point game. Kamala got destroyed at the rim, blocked, and it just tipped out, deflected to Doug. 15 seconds left, need a 3, bang. Like my boy has the clutch gene. He just didn't get the ball.
Honestly, had a Chug McDaniel game. You win this game, we're probably having a Chug McDaniel.
Yeah, the Chug McDaniel bleach.